Okay, yeah, I didn't actually plan on being on camera. That was a user error. But peace and welcome back. Welcome to my show. I'm Eve, and tonight, tonight, I want to talk about, well, not that, but kind of that. More like, there we go, the takeover. Yes, the takeover. And I wonder if my art is, if the message is resonating, or if there needs to be some explanation. And lucky for you, I've reserved this time to explain some things. So, welcome to the dark side of my thoughts tonight. I think it might be a little hard for some of you because the things that I have to say, well, if you're a sister fucker, or if you are a black woman in white face or a white woman in black face, if you are walking around in a costume, you might have thought that you were participating in the takeover. Little did you know. A lot of people are waking up to a bunch of nonsense, and I'm happy. I'm happy we're here, but there's a lot of work to be done. So, sis, if you're in the room, to the fellas, to the men, the brothers who support messages like this, I applaud you. I salute you. To my man who has a very hard time here in this house because the takeover is real. No, like the programming is real, and I don't know if y'all understand or recognize or can even appreciate your significance in doing or not doing. So I just wanted to, start the mood off right, because Kendrick puts us in a good spirit for talking about people who are not like us. And then when we're talking about people who are not like us, I find that some of us are not like us either. But is it your fault? Did you drink the Kool-Aid, or is it something else? Is it other frequencies that we're picking up and putting out and not really know where it's coming from as much as it's something that we really resonate with? I find that the music, some music, it is very telling when you look at people's lives, and then people will say with a straight face, I'm not listening to the music or the words. I don't really live like that. It's an escape. It's just entertainment, right? You have that same conversation across pretty much all areas, I think, of entertainment. And it's no wonder to me that we have these stuck on stupid moments. But again, when we're dealing with people who are not like us, and really truly they are presenting as us, but on the inside, they really aren't. What are we supposed to do? Do we just sit back and say, okay, that's not happening over here? I don't do those things, so I don't have to worry about it. Or is there something else? Because I think the bystander approach, the one that says that we don't do anything because we're not participating in, means that we're allowing this toxicity to fester. They say that there's toxic masculinity, but I find that it's feminist, females, feminism, womanism. I don't know what you call it, but the sisterhood could be another name for it. But that shit is toxic. And women are championing things that they shouldn't, because they think that it's a move. And I just wonder if they look at where they were versus where they are, and if the math ain't math, then why are we continuing to perpetuate some dumb shit? But again, maybe it's because we're picking up some things that are not ours. We're putting things out that are not us. And if we don't ever take a pause to pay attention to some of these things, then we will continue to be stuck on stupid. So many things I want to talk about. I think we are going to start with this one. If I can click on the right tab, we will start with that one. Oh my God, where is it? Nope, 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 that's not it either. Let's go here. Okay. Shout out to Nicey because she posted this and it was so fitting. Amber Rose has been in the news because she's the RNC, the Republicans, they're trying to do the same thing that the Democrats are doing, which is basically not pay attention to us, but act like they're paying attention to us. And damn it, you can't see my screen. Here we go. There we go. Amber Rose, she's been in the news. And not because of her slut walk or because she's a slut, even though that if you call yourself a slut, then I don't know why people calling you a slut would be off, as much as maybe you didn't mean to say it like that, or maybe you didn't mean to champion that message so hard. Sometimes that happens, right, ladies? You champion something really hard because you really feel it. It's really how you feel. And fellas, while this message is not necessarily directed at you, I find that some of you guys take on some bitch behaviors, and then the women around you start acting even more retarded. And yeah, I guess my language is going to be a little off-putting tonight because I find that you guys only really do shit when you are uncomfortable. And damn it, uncomfortable is how we felt when she had her slut walk the first time. But, it was okay because she was a cute light braid, right? No, okay. This is
culturally in America, you're considered black. Do you think that's how people perceive you? And is that how you perceive yourself?
I do not consider myself a black woman. Absolutely not.
Culturally in America,
right,
you're considered black. Do you think that's how people perceive you? And is that how you perceive yourself?
I do not consider myself a black woman. Absolutely not.
Culturally in America, you're considered black. Do you think that's how people perceive you? And is that how you perceive yourself?
I do not consider myself a black woman. Absolutely not.
Culturally in America, you're considered black. Do you think
Sorry, I know. The only reason I kept playing it over and over again is because she's trying to act like she didn't say that shit. And that keeps happening, right? A lot of these women who are pushed in our forefront have already done some stupid shit. And then it's supposed to be like turning over a new leaf. If you get picked up by the right people, then you can just ignore all of the things that you've said in the past. But should we be ignoring the things from the past, or is it just a Groundhog's Day moment or deja vu, if you will? I mean, what's the point of having deja vu if we're not going to do something different? Or maybe you guys feel like we're supposed to continue to do the same thing because we're having the deja vu. That's like a whole aside thought that I've had for a long time about deja vu. If you're catching the loop, are you on the right path? Or if you're catching the loop, does that mean that you're not doing the right thing? Which way does it go? Because if we've been here before and we've already done these things, then we would know better. Or you have to go through certain things in order to do better. At what point does the memory take over and then we start to apply what we already know to the current layout? I find that I have these thoughts, and maybe you guys should have these thoughts, because maybe we're stuck on stupid because nobody is talking about things that matter as much as everybody's talking about things that make them feel a certain way. Our reparative debt, the justice that's owed to Black America, that is something that can be polarizing. It can pull on your heartstrings. It can make you very angry, if you're not a Black American, right? And then for what it's worth, there are some Black Americans who get very angry with us when we're talking about the debt that's owed because they don't feel the same way. It's all about feelings. But then I just wonder if you guys make an association between acting on feelings as a feminine thing versus acting on, the science, the knowledge, the actual numbers. Is it just me? It can't just be me. I know it's not just me. Peace Carlton in the chat. I'm gonna assume that you're a guy, right, with a name like Carlton. And then for what it's worth, since it's just me and you, and to the other listeners who are listening but haven't said anything in the chat, peace to y'all too. Come on in. The water's nice and I don't bite. But I'm just saying, like, that's why they say we shouldn't have a woman president, right? Because we're too feely. We have a cycle that means that we're supposed to act on our emotions, or at least we've been given a lot of latitude, right? You can say pretty much anything to your boss, or the man that's in charge of things where you work at, and blame it on some lady issues and kind of get away with murder. I mean, that's not all. Obviously, some of you men don't put up with that at all. But some of you men, you not only do you put up with it, but you make excuses for her because of her. And I just wonder if it's to our detriment when Black men do that. Because feminism, womanism, what is it called? Red pill manosphere shit, and everything that separates the genders seems to be a self-inflicted wound for whatever people is putting it on. Inside of the different cultures and races, I find that the arguments are not the same, but they want them to be the same. For example, white women have always wanted the care that Black men have bestowed upon the Black woman. They've not gotten that, at least in a very long time. And I'm not sitting here trying to do any history show. I'm not a geography teacher. I'm not a anthropologist. If you want that, you should tune into Dr. Winters. He's live on like Thursday, and then I think on like Sunday, and then he gives me some time on Wednesday to explore some thoughts that I don't share with you guys on Fridays, because needing a lens, someone who knows more than you about some stuff, is necessary. But for Fridays, it's just me and you, right? Me and you, and to, if you listen to the playback, to you too. And I just find that having an open dialogue about things means that we're able to get somewhere. When you come at a problem as the authority, but then the problem's not solved, the audience is fucked up. Really, I completely understand why 100,000 Black people don't know what's up and what's down, or what's left or what's right, because the authority on things is, I mean, like, if they got to tell you to look it up because they can't explain it to you, then maybe they're not the authority on things. But I'm just Eve. And if I come to something that I don't understand, I'm going to look it up with you, because we going to get some straightening and we're going to get to the bottom of it. And tonight, feminism, womanism, the gender divide, I wonder if it's a takeover. And I wonder if it's too late. Do we have a problem on our hands that too many people have bowed to the beast? Or are we in a really good place to do something about it? You don't want to wake the sleeping giant, right? Because it's a giant. And if it's asleep, then I guess it's not really worried about you. But when it wakes up, I don't know if that's where you want to be. It's almost like you guys forgot most of the child stories that we grew up on. And for what it's worth, I try to keep the minis from all of that shit, because the children's stories were so dark. They were demented, always about some really bad shit. I mean, even from like Rockabye Baby. Why are we singing to our babies about them falling out of a cradle? It just seems a little damaging. But when you figure that the people who are teaching these songs and having these songs don't look like us, they are not us. Maybe they used to be a very long time ago, but in the current day and age, they're not. And since they're not, maybe the things that they have to teach their youth, their young, their minis, there might be a point. Because again, the white woman and the white man, they've been having this power struggle for a long time. And not because one is better than the other, especially with regards to keeping us away from our resources and tangibles. But just the fact that if you used to eat the other one, you might have some like resentment. I'm never gonna come off of that. You can't make me. So far, the evidence doesn't support anything more than, God damn it, if you used to eat me, I might feel some kind of way about it, epigenetically, of course. But maybe they don't have such a long memory. Maybe it's just the literal act of not having the power over us on paper. But I mean, I think about chattel slavery and our ancestors, and there were white women who had slaves. So I don't necessarily know if it's needing to have power on paper as much as they just are on some kamikaze shit. Have you seen the amount of women who say that excuse me, have you seen the amount of women who say that they don't need a man? And I know y'all think that it's Black women who say shit like that. There are thousands of white women who feel like they don't need a man. And then I just wonder how they got here. Because the science is not there yet. We are not in the day and age where they are cloning people in mass or even test tube babying people in mass. As much as a lot of these white people wouldn't be here if there weren't some experiments happening at some point. And then for what it's worth, they're not going to be here in a little while. So I understand the ones who want to mix in, but I have to be reserved about their mixing in, because at what cost? Is it going to be mixing in to try to balance things out, or is it mixing in because they know that their thought is stronger than our heart? And then if your brain can overpower your heart, then you can be white with Black skin. Shit will always work for you if you die out. The ones that are white presenting, of course. But y'all also get out. And I mean, what was the message of that movie? And then shit, just think about who wrote and directed that movie. The firecrackers of the world. Some of them, they're not like us. They didn't have a choice. And then I wonder why we're stuck. And those firecrackers would say that they need more people like them out here. More ligers, right? No, I don't think we need more ligers. I just think that, people who are supposed to be here, take the power back. You can't let me see if I can show you this. I'm gonna find it. Not that one. It might be this one. Let's see. Yep, it's this one. I hope there's not a commercial. If there is, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, there's a commercial. I'm sorry, guys. It'll be over soon because I can skip it.
And, somebody the other day said to me, Zerlina, well, but, Joe Biden's old. I said, you know what? Joe Biden is old. Let's go ahead and accept the reality. Joe Biden is old. So we have a contest between one candidate who's old, but who's done an effective job and doesn't threaten our democracy. And we have another candidate who is old, barely makes sense when he talks, is dangerous, and threatens our democracy.
It's a quote now from the majority. Majority writes, and I quote, women, it's a quote now from the majority. Women are not without electoral or political power. It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line. Women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line. It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line.
I'm sorry. How amazing is it that neither one of the people standing behind him made a face? Like, is it drugs? Were they ready? Did they just know that Biden is just not ready for life? Like, you zap him awake, and then who knows what's about to be said. But, if you listen to Mrs. Clinton, then you might fall for the trap. And I think that that's really fucked up, because she's trying to make people feel bad about not wanting to vote for Biden. But in real time, people are waking up to the bullshit. This is the bullshit.
I want my mother to know I was here. I want my sisters to know I was here. I want my great-granddaughter to know I was here. I want my students to know I was here. I want my niece to know I was here. I want your great-granddaughter to know I was here. She's a great American bitch. Drink if they called you an ass. Drink if they called you a slut or a shrew. Drink if they called you a crazy hag. Drink if the rumors are true. We're meant to be heard. We need to know. We're meant to be known. We're meant to be known. We're meant to voice we're meant to see. Because we know.
Okay, and let me just be completely honest and transparent. I thought their singing was really good. I like musicals, sue me or whatever. However, the bullshit. Mrs. Clinton, you just told people that we should pay close attention to what's going on. This is what you said.
Really, pick between your old. Let's go ahead and accept the reality. Joe Biden is old.
Yes, that is the reality. Joe Biden is old. But what else is the reality, Hillary? And I don't know, do I need to have a reality check with Dr. Winters about this? Because no offense, Dr. Winters, you're also really old. But like, inside of your age, I don't know that you just out here lying to people.
Old. So we have a contest between one candidate who's old, but who's done an effective job.
All right. Now, can somebody tell me who the candidate is that is old, that's done an effective job? Anybody in the room? Are there any takers? Can anybody tell me? Because I know. I mean, I'm not barbelling them. I'm just using their own words. And so far, I don't know who the fuck she's talking about.
And doesn't threaten our democracy. And we have another candidate who is old, barely makes sense when he talks, is dangerous, and threatens our democracy.
Now, it just seems like she's talking about this nigga right here.
Not without electoral or political power. It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who registered to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line.
End of quote, repeat the line. End of quote, repeat the line. That's what this dude said. End of quote, repeat the line. But she wants us to vote for him. Why? What is it that we're voting for? Because I think it's going to be more of this.
Virtually every mass shooting every circumstance where a large number of people have been victimized and lost. I've spoken with them. I learned a long time ago what you've all learned in your life. When someone's going through something that is beyond their comprehension, they've ever thought they'd have to go through. If they see someone who they think understands that maybe they're through something not the same but similar, it gives them some sense of hope. And I always get criticized sometimes on my staff because when I go to these events, I stay for 3 to 4 hours to answer all their questions. But it matters. It matters a lot. And look, I'm talking, some of you have gone through a hell of a lot more than I've gone through, and a lot more than other people have gone through. And you understand. So it's just people are looking for just something to grab, something that gives them some sense of hope. And that's, if I can do a little bit of that, then it's, it's worth doing. Done for me. So.
I know. You're waiting. You're so patient. But listen, the Democrats will say in real time that we're not giving him enough latitude, that we're not giving him the room to show us that he is the man that we need right now. Because I don't know that he was the man then. I don't know that he was the man in 2020. I don't know that he's the man now. I don't know that he was the man for Obama as much as he was Obama's man for sure. But more. Here we go.
Free America, whether they voted for me or not.
Well, and the ones that didn't vote for your bills but run on them.
That's right.
Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Nicole,
much.
I appreciate
it's great to have you. It's
Thank
great to have
you.
you. Thank you. Don't go anywhere. It's a very exciting day around here. We'll have reaction and analysis to everything we just heard from the president.
Yep. So, okay, maybe that's not so bad, right? He only walked off the interview before it was done, but I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know that a person who can have so many fails should continue to represent us because, well, at least according to ChatGPT, one of his quotes is that failure at some point in your life is inevitable, but giving up is unforgivable. Joe, you might need to just go to bed. You already told us that you were ready to go to bed, and I believed you. I really felt you when you said that you were ready to go to bed because the questions were too much. You didn't know what to say. Nobody gave you the rules. If you're still reading from the teleprompter, it means that you're a guy who can follow rules, right? And I remember when he was talking about being the vice president the first time. Do you guys remember that? He was talking about how he didn't want to. And I was wondering if it was like a racist thing, like he didn't want to be the white guy under the black guy, but maybe it's because he just knew that it was going to be a very fast decline. The presidency does that. It puts people on the decline very fast. You saw Obama when he went in. When he came out, he looked like a really old man. After he's out of office, he starts to brighten up again, but okay. Let's go down memory lane.
Mr. President, may Dr. Biden, how was anniversary?
I'm sorry. Was that mean? I didn't mean to be mean. I find that if we can't make them uncomfortable, they're going to continue to fuck us. And if y'all like getting fucked by them, then be my guest. But in a time of Me Too, right? I think that it's time for us to put our foot down with some of this stuff and remember the takeover. Well, the takeover only exists if you allow it. And right now, the Democrats, and not just right now, it's every 4 years they pay attention to us because they don't really pay attention to us. But right now they're paying attention to us because it's trending, right? To get the black vote, it's the trending thing to do because we will help you win the presidency or you will lose the presidency. And I just well, the not so distant past.
And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
Like, y'all have to think he's doing this shit on purpose because there is no way that he just messed that up. He did not mess up Putin being the president of Ukraine accidentally. Or did he? Because which one is it? Is it that he's just so sinister and so conniving and so clever that he is really running a ruckus on us, thinking that he's old and senile? But really, he's like the mastermind behind so many devious things. Which one is it? Because I've seen him wander off into the bushes. Have you guys seen him wander off into the bushes? Do we need to go back down memory lane? You know, I don't mind. I don't mind. Here we go. Now I know y'all saw him point at the path that he's walking on. You see there's a path right here. I don't know if y'all can see my mouse or not. There's a path. He's on it. He's walking down the path. There he is. He's on the path. He gets pointed to. There it is. Mr. President, you're going to go left. My left, your right. And he looks to the right and he keeps walking. And look at Mr. Secret Service behind him. He's like, what the fuck, y'all? Did you zap him before he got off the plane? Because remember, you got to zap him. If you don't zap him, he doesn't do the things. Do I need to? Okay, look, here's my thing. Look at him. He's saying something about going out to vote. And I'm not playing the audio because I want you guys to be able to hear me and register what I'm saying. Looking at this with a new lens, at first I thought he was just senile and old and he didn't know what was going on. But he knows what the fuck is going on. He's staying away from those people. Like, to his detriment. Who cares what it looks like on camera? He's like, no, I'm not going over there. with those reporters. I will not. I'm not going to. You can't make me. And nobody's making him. Jill's not there to escort him all of the way. Because I saw on Twitter that some blonde was talking to him, and it looked as though he was seeing his wife in her. And then his wife walks up and he's like, oh shit, yeah, there you are. There's my wife. Look at him. He misses the turn. He said, I'm the goddamn president. You can't tell me where to go. No, that's not what he said, because really, if he were talking like that, then maybe we wouldn't have so many issues with him saying that there's only so much that he can do, right? Or am I wrong? We need more examples. And obviously, there's a reason for all of these clips, especially right now. Black women are supposed to be, according to the Democrats, we're not doing the things we're supposed to do, because, at least according to Newsweek, they said that Kamala is suffering blow after blow because of Black women. And shout out to the Black women who have taken off the mask and have said enough is enough. You know, that's deep. It's strong. It is accountable in a way that the dominant society never expected you to be. Because it's a lot easier to just not do the things. It's a lot harder to say, damn it, I fucked up, and, you know, we're just going to have to eat it, right? And when I say eat it, you know, a lot of you are taking questions from people in a very brave way. Shout out to our brother Ogun Spirit. And oh my God, all the way free, since you're in the chat, can you please post the GoFundMe for Micah? Because I was having a conversation with my brother, our brother, Ogun Spirit, and it prompted a bigger dialogue. And it was about why these older Black women are voting for Biden. And he opened up the dialogue so that the text message group chat could be better heard, or at least better received, because, you know, people like to throw punches via text, right? They think that, oh, I can just keyboard warrior this and then, you know, I'm done. But no, that's not what happened this time. This time he opened up a dialogue, and in the dialogue I had a conversation with two older Black women. At first they were, you don't know how old I am type shit, right? But that's okay. We got to the bottom of why they felt the way that they felt, and a lot of it is propaganda. You know, they're still passing along the lie that Trump's raped people. Can somebody give me some evidence that Trump has raped people? Because I know he's grabbed them by the pussy. I know that he's assaulted people, or at least been found guilty of assault, but has he raped anybody or has been found guilty of raping people? Because that is their biggest thing, is that he's out here raping people. And I don't see any evidence of that. I mean, don't come for me, right? I'm not trying to start a war with the Me Too, because shit, Me Too, goddammit. But no, first them. And inside of that, Joe Biden sniffs children. And that's not something that I can't just Google. Really, I'm going to do it right now. Joe Biden sniffs children. Enter. And look at what the damn internet gives me. Just off of a Google search. You know, you type in Trump rapes people and it pulls up a lot of everything else. You type in Joe Biden sniffs children and it pulls up a lot of weird shit. Like this. Look at this. What the fuck is that? And she's just laughing. And look, Dad said no. Look. Let me make it big for you. Oh, wait. Where'd it go? I don't know why that says Joe Biden nibbles on little girl, but damn, if he's nibbling on her, that's even more frightening. Here we go. Damn it, with these freaking commercials. That's okay. Oh God. Oh my God. He did nibble on her. You guys saw it? Why aren't y'all talking about this shit? No, really, I'm really having an issue with Black media because I know we're talking about our reparative justice, we're talking about a lot of shit, but the person in office is nibbling on children. Look at him. What the fuck is that? No. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me just let it play out. The mom is like, what the fuck? I'm gonna get a picture. Let me just get a picture. And the dad's like, yeah, okay, buddy. You saw him. The dad's like, all right, buddy. He gave him the okay, buddy. You saw it? Y'all had to have seen it. Let me go back. Mom doesn't know what the fuck to do.
Jesse Waters exclusive with a 2024 GOP ticket as they
No, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I mean,
Jesse Waters
whatever.
Prime Time.
He nibbles on that baby. She doesn't like it. Mom's like, I guess I'm gonna just get a damn photo op. And dad's like, yeah, okay, buddy. Okay. Shout out to that dad, I guess. Because why? Well, I don't know. IDK, you guys. Okay, all the way free. You about to get fired tonight because why can't you just post the link in the chat? Just post the link in the chat, please. Could you do that for me? Do I gotta barbell you over here? It's already bad enough. I lift more than you.
If you talk about anybody other than me, you will be banned. I am the authority.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not the authority. All the way free. If you post the link that I sent you in the text, there it is. You are so cool. Thank you for modding for me. And I'm not gonna fire you because it's just YouTube. What the fuck is people getting fired off of YouTube? I'm not paying you. Anyway, look, I think it's time for some commercials. I think you guys, I think y'all are familiar with our brother Yoshimod, but if you're not,
if you're not going to speak up, you're the one to do. If you're not going to speak up, you're the one to do. If you're not going to speak up, you're the one to do. If you're not going to speak up, you're the one to do. Vampires, they prey on your fears and they stay away. Vampires, they prey on your fears, control your atmosphere. Don't let them take your energy. What I say. Don't let them take control your atmosphere. I am you and control your atmosphere. Don't let them take your energy. Don't let them suck your energy. It's a distraction away from me. I am you and you are me. If you're not going to speak up, you're the one to do. If you're not going to speak up, you're the one to do. If you're not going to speak up, you're the one to do.
Supplemental learning for your mini. But you can learn too. Don't send your mini into the belly of the beast unarmed. Courses, practical math, language, the code, our story and more. An institution founded by us, dedicated to us and our fight for justice. Here you will learn ways to combat the system using the same information they are trying to keep away from you. Welcome to FBA Sunday School.
What's up, everybody? It's Eve. Follow me on Twitter and YouTube for space recordings and special live programs. 2024, we're doing things a little different if you haven't peeped game by now. So yeah, this is your chance. You can do it now if you want. Hit the bell here on YouTube at JustEveB, or find me on X at Justice4 Just Us. That's JUSTICE, 4 JUST_US. And if you feel so inclined, support my channel and the work we do over here. The Cash App and Patreon links are in the description. Black first. That's right, Black first, goddammit, brilliance first. And shout out to all of my supporters. You guys are cool as fuck, and I wouldn't be able to do this without you. Actually, let me not lie. I would absolutely be able to come on the internet and talk for whatever length of time, for as much as I wanted to, but would it matter? It's the support that makes it all worth the while. So I completely understand why some people get, what's the best word? What's the most diplomatic word? Some people get intoxicated by the support, but let me try to start and end all of this with, I'm just Eve, right? I'm not the authority on things. I'm not the master teacher. I am an educator, but I don't think that any real educator thinks that the learning stops. And, you know, if you think that you're the authority on things, then the learning has stopped. And I don't know if that's the example that we need. Maybe it's an example some of you guys need, because let's just be honest, it is a message and an energy that is missing from Black America, this uncompromising, unadulterated, Black-centered America, Black-centered, sorry, just kidding. That's not him, that's us. No, just melanated people abound. Let me call on your strength like Goku and glean from you. And, you know, existing in the background, you can absolutely do things like that. But I find that it's existing in the background and not showing up to things is why other people might not support things. And, well, look, here's something. This woman, Melanie Campbell, this is a picture of her showing support for Ketanji Brown Jackson. And we all know that Ketanji Brown Jackson is a melanated woman who doesn't know what a woman is. But there was Black woman, melanated woman, campaigning, stomping very hard for this other melanated woman who doesn't know what the fuck a woman is. And I just want to know where that maths. Because, well, according to mainstream media, Black women are a focal point, but then Black men are also a focal point. And since I'm not a Black man, I can't really speak about Black men things. I can speak about like how I've been affected or treated by, but is that a conversation that moves us forward, or is it a conversation that makes us go sideways, lateral, or even in a circle? You know, how the Black man treats the Black woman probably is directly related to their position in the world, our position in the world, our geopolitical state, and the fact that we don't have the things that are supposed to be ours. You know, it's a lot of fucked up energy revolving around Black America, and it all centers around not being where we're supposed to be, but we are where we're supposed to be. You see how that's a mental fart? We're where we're supposed to be, but we're not where we're supposed to be. Or is it how we're supposed to be? You know, we're not asking any questions. And even if you are asking questions, you're not waiting to get the answer. You're not searching for the answer to the one question before you move to another question. So I just wonder, Which one is it? Because I know that we are where we're supposed to be. We don't flee, right? That's not us. That's not our story. But are we how we're supposed to be in the where? And that math doesn't math. If you look at our story, the history, the paperwork, a lot of it shows that we've been in the same spots that we were in before people got here. And it is the invasion, the toxicity that seeps in and makes you forget who you are. It makes you want to participate in behavior that's not yours. It makes you want to do other things, just something different, right? It's like marriage, right? And everybody's favorite bad business channel is talking about marriage tonight, but I get it. If the people who are telling us to be married don't even believe in the union or the sanctity or the sacrifice, then maybe it would all go to shit. Maybe we would exist in a land where the genders want to be divided. Because I don't know any Black men who aren't incels, really. And then I guess the ones that I do know that are incels, they really have feelings about women. And I don't think that they're unfounded as much as they need to be put in proper context, because with context we can find understanding. But when you exist on the internet behind an avatar of a person who made penis pants, then context will always be missing. People will always be guessing. And well, when the math stops mathing, that's where your support goes. Or does it? Because I don't know. In real time, the math says that, we've got live cases, active charges, and people are still saying, well, he could get off. And all right, you're right, he could get off. That's the system. You pay for the right lawyer to do the right things, and I can't be mad at the system. Or can I? No, I'm absolutely feeling pretty dumbfounded that I have to seek justice inside of a system that was designed to fuck me in a way that I didn't ask for. But here we are, and this is what we're doing. But is it because of the takeover? I think it is. The gender divide, the daddy and mommy issues of Black America, that is the issue. Because you'll listen to a message that sounds right, but you won't do the homework. You won't do the things that cause you to ask certain questions because you don't really want those answers. When you don't really want the answer, do you really want change? I'm so tired of people saying that they want what's owed to us, but then they won't do things. It brings me back to my conversation with Ogun Spirit and these older Black women, because again, their biggest argument was that Trump rapes women. And I was just joking about Joe Biden sniffing children. Not that it was not real, but just, if we're going to talk about some weird shit, he sniffs children. Do we not care about the babies? No, they actually don't. They don't care about the babies because they'll vote for a politician or a candidate who supports DACA or who would support not sending money because the war is affecting children in countries across the world, but they don't do anything about the children that are here that need help. It's almost like the pro-life and pro-choice argument. You've got people saying that they're pro-choice, which means that they are pro-killing babies. And then you got people who are pro-life, which means that they want the babies to exist. But then the Democrats will fearmonger you off of your pro-life stance because they'll say, well, they don't even care about the babies after they get here. Because what about welfare? And what about, government assistance? And what about the things? And they're not wrong. Republicans don't believe in any of that shit. Not really. Not conservatively. Because why has the government got their hands in our pockets like this? Why is the government doing so much for our day-to-day? But I guess if we don't trust ourselves, or if we don't trust the power or want the responsibility, then we would want someone to tell us what to do and tell us how to share and tell us the things. But Black America, Black women, is that you? Or is it something that you've put on? Because if you put it on, you can take it off. That's pretty much my whole argument. Like, if you put it on, you can take it off. But don't let it be some shit where it's like a scary movie from the 90s and you put on the costume. What is it? What was that book? Not Jeepers Creepers. Is it Jeepers Creepers? No, there was a book series back when I was a child, when I was a little girl. What the hell is that damn book called? They're called, and I want to say it starts with a J, but it's not. It's a G because I get dyslexic. Goosebumps, right? I want to say that there was a Goosebumps episode because it was like books and then it was like TV show. Well, anyway, the person put on the mask, right? And then the mask doesn't come off. And then they have to deal with being this monster forever because the mask doesn't come off. And I guess Jim Carrey's The Mask kind of is like that, kind of. But Goosebumps was so more fitting and so much more vividly presenting. I guess because I was a child and they were using a scary mask. Jim Carrey's mask, it was green. It wasn't really scary as much as the behaviors were kind of scary, I guess. But no, you don't want to be a person who puts on a mask and can't take it off. You don't want to be a person who puts on a costume and can't take it off. But if you continue to perpetuate and participate in certain things, wouldn't that just be normal for you at that time? Because I mean, that's kind of where we are. We've got American Black women. Look, there's this chick on Twitter. Let me see if I can get to it. There's this chick on Twitter, and she makes art. And before y'all say I'm being a hypocrite, I know I make art too, and I appreciate art. I like the fact that we can put our own spin on the message or what the artist intended. Sometimes I make something and people, they give me something completely different than anything that I was feeling when I made the art, but I mean, it's cool. I like that they have perception that's different than mine. But okay, there's this artist, right? Letitia. So when you go to her Twitter, it blocks you basically from going to her Twitter because this profile may include potentially sensitive content. So yes, we want to go ahead and see it because we want to just show you this. Letitia is sex female, polyvalent artist. Polyvalent. I'm not even going to hold y'all. I don't know what the fuck that means. So it means having a chemical valence greater usually than 2. In other contexts, it can mean having or using a lot of different forms or features. So I guess she's saying that she's deep. She's a deep artist. Okay, that's strange. People, they take our language, English that is, and they just do a lot with it. And then we take our language and we just do a little bit to it, and they don't know what the fuck type shit we're talking about. Brad and Becky will both act like we are speaking Chinese. But then this chick, who is not a Black American, can say polyvalent and everybody knows what the fuck she's talking about. No, I call cap. Y'all don't really know. And not y'all in the audience, because y'all in the audience might be like me. I didn't know what the fuck that meant. I had never seen that word before today. And yeah, maybe I should do my homework before my show. But I like learning things in real time because it gives me different thoughts about how I felt. And if I come to a conclusion about something, or at least a better understanding, why not have it in real time with people that can help me make sense of some things? Because I don't think that any of you are trying to tell me how to be as much as Well, so far, I don't know that anybody's had big issues with anything I've said except for, the barbell lights and the beta first of the world. Y'all don't like that your daddy's got a case coming up, and I get that. But, if you, do y'all listen to your daddy? Because this is what your daddy said today, no less. This is what he said. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what he said because I was wondering if this was like a Freudian slip or if or if he really meant it. Because, sometimes we fuck up, right? And then we don't know how to fix it. And then sometimes we know exactly what the fuck we're doing. And then we just play on people's emotions and heartstrings. But one day it'll be too late to change your life, chase your dreams, to make amends. Do it now. Every moment counts. Jeremy, are you talking to yourself? Make amends, nigga. Look, I've never said that we couldn't come to some terms. I really feel like, you doing what you did was kind of fucked up because I think you knew better, even if you got in your feels about things. And if you got in your feels about things, then you have my number and you can call me and you can talk to me and my man and discuss how we can move forward as Black people who are about the work. Because, if you eat this, drink this, breathe this, live this, then I wouldn't want to keep you from your purpose. But if you don't, then I very much need to move you off your square. But I've been called a feminist, you guys. They were calling me a feminist. Look in my comments. And I know you're going to say, Eve, why are you even listening to the barbell lights and the beta first and the bitch first? I'm not, but I guess I am. Because I'm just me. I'm just Eve. I'm a people who reads things and cares about perception. Maybe I shouldn't, but I do. And inside of me caring about perception, I just wondered if it was a bunch of Black presenting people who really are white on the inside and they don't really give a shit about us, which is why you could act like that and you could do certain things. You could even say certain things and not mean them if you were white and blackface. But if you didn't know or if you didn't realize the magnitude of the role or of the things, then maybe you would want an opportunity for pause. So Fridays, when we're protecting the minis from predators, we have to consider the predator that looks like you and me, but is not you or me. A lot of people got demons inside of them. And if y'all are not ready to be on demon time, you are going to get ate up. And I mean ate the fuck up. Like, I think y'all watch a lot of movies, but you don't really pay attention to what the demon goes through to become a demon, or what the demon has to go through to get some sort of saving, to have some sort of grace, for people to give them some sort of latitude. But remember, context, it matters. And when we have context, we can come to some sort of understanding. And the context of tonight's show would be that feminism is this weird breaking point, tipping point, and Black women really can move the needle if you want to. But if you're still vaxxing that ass up and getting your booty to the polls and, giving Kamala any sort of latitude because she went to an HBCU and she crossed in a Greek fraternity, she wears Converses and eats hot sauce on her greens, then you should go play in traffic. And I don't mean like when it's bumper to bumper. But I digress, because I'm not here promoting violence. That would be, your own personal choice to make things easier for the rest of us, because I promise you, being in the way when people are waking up to some realizations to how they've been tricked, I guess I'm going to make it akin to the men who were tricked into a transformer. And I'm going to spare you the gory details. A lot of those men don't like being tricked. And when they wake up to the fraudulent business of it all, somebody is not here tomorrow. So, if you want to do us all a favor, you could just, well, y'all all know where traffic is. But let me stop. Because really, I would hate for someone to hear my message and then take themselves out of the game when really you need to pause, consider your energy, consider the things that you say and what you're championing, what you're campaigning. Is it yours? Did you get it from somewhere else? And if you got it from somewhere else, where did you get it from? Because it matters. The where, there's context there. If you're listening to someone who is telling Black women to get their shit together, but it's layered in Black woman hating, then you're never going to get your shit together because this nigga don't like you. But I digress. Look, if you like my thoughts, join me on Fridays. If you want to hear me with somebody else, join me on Monday and Wednesday. Mondays with Marie. She's a light bright y'all can get with. Or Wednesdays with Dr. Winters, where he's a scholar that y'all might understand better than me. Until next time, I'm Eve, and it's been real. What's up, everybody? It's Eve. Follow me on Twitter and YouTube for space recordings and special. Just kidding. I forgot to show you this shit. Here you go. Look, that's the artist I was telling you about. Letitia, this is the shit she puts out. And I'm so glad that I had this pulled up because I really was about to let y'all go without showing you this shit. Look, the reason that I'm showing you this shit, and I had to blur it out because I don't know why this woman, you can see her, that's not a Black American woman, why this woman would depict these men with their penises attached in such a way, other than she don't like Black men. But then it's okay. Here you go. Here's another one. There's a Black man. He's holding the woman up with his penis, but she's being hung. And all of this lady's art is really fucking weird. But I find that Black women who are putting on this feminism costume, they start doing some really weird shit. And if you guys don't pay attention to the signs, then it's going to be in your face in a really bad way. And then Twitter's going to be telling you, hey, if you're even going to go to this person's page, you might want to bleach your eyes after the fact. And then just think about it. Anything negative that has melanin, they attribute to Black America, not melanated people of the world. Black America. So you've got this woman who's a feminist who is making art and trying to live her purpose, her truth. And this is the shit she's putting out, and this is what's going viral. And I get it. It is polarizing. It will make you think. But why is her brain even doing this shit? Who are her people? Who has she been around? And remember, the reason that these questions are being asked, because context matters. Because when we find out the reasons why, we find out the where, the who, the what, the when, you can choose to identify with the story or the message in a more authentic way. But you can't just act like you are the thing. You eat this, drink this, breathe this, live this, if you can't tell people where the tenaciousness comes from. Where is your veracity coming from? Where is this energy coming from? Because, I mean, if it's coming from the fact that you got married and, you had a wife who stepped out on you and you had to pay child support for a baby that wasn't yours, then you might feel some kind of way about single moms. But I'm not saying that that's your story, Jeremy. I'm just saying I've heard some things. And if that's your story, dude, people need to know. I promise your follower count would probably go up. Yeah, it'll be a lot more incels, but don't you want numbers? Isn't that what we would talk about? The numbers? Okay. Yeah, like I said, I was about to end this, but I couldn't end it without showing you this woman's art because maybe you see something different. Maybe you got something from her art that I was unable to get. And if you want to check out her page, it's Letitia KY on Twitter. Anything negative gets put on Black America. So when you have something to say, you can't just act like, well, I don't buy her art. I don't follow her on X. I don't have to do anything about it. But is it our not doing things about things causing some things to just fester? Because I think that's where we are. People wearing costumes they're not supposed to. People existing in environments they're not supposed to. If you just let them be there, they will get real comfortable. And then they will be telling you how to run things in your house. What's up, everybody? It's Eve. Follow me on Twitter and YouTube for space recordings and special live programs. 2024, we're doing things a little different if you haven't peeped game by now. So yeah, this is your chance. You can do it now if you want. Hit the bell here on YouTube at JustEveB or find me on X at Justice4Just_Us. That's JUSTICE, 4 JUST_US. And if you feel so inclined, support my channel and the work we do over here. The Cash App and Patreon links are in the description. Black first.